everybody. Episode 41 of How to Become a Sales Warrior. I'm your host, Eddie Potts, my co-host,
Mark Simpson from Sem Holdings.
and we have a very special guest today. We have Kristine Fitzpatrick from the League of Yes. Sounds like a very powerful league, so we're going to get into that in a little while.
I think we'll be a really good guest today.
Yeah, me too. You want to tell our guests and folks why we're here?
We are here because we are grinders. We've made lots of mistakes along the way, and we are working people. We're not rich people, we're working people. And we basically choose to share some of the opportunities, experiences we've had along the way, because at the end of the day, we're all salespeople. It doesn't matter what your title is, what your position is, we're all salespeople. And through your book and whatnot, we choose this platform to share some of those experiences.
And that part of wanting to help that younger group of salespeople, I know I run a networking group that's a charity. And my eyes are always open for where could I help, where could I give back? That has nothing to do with the book, has nothing to do with the podcast. And when I met Kristine last week at the Sexy Salad, give them a shout out because the owner of that place is awesome. Adam Holtz's event, she was telling me her tale of what her not-for-profit was about,
right.
And it just grabbed me. It grabbed me, and it was like, how can I help?
Right. Well, again, this is coming from a guy who just did the backyard event where you had the whole T-shirt. We all got T-shirts, and we promoted that as well, which was a great charity event. The stuff we're doing with the schools, the stuff where the theme of this podcast is kind of taking on a community feel to it. It is.
I'm really looking forward to our career day. All right, so we have to start off with sports.
Why?
Well, I have a good one. I have a really good one. His name is Matt Schaefer from the New York Islanders, who was just named Rookie of the Month for the Islanders. He's leading all defensemen in scoring in the league.
He's from Long Island too, right? Or
No, he's from Canada.
Okay.
And he's my daughter's favorite player.
Okay.
So that's my only good story. Do you have anything for sports?
I do.
What do you got?
I'm thinking about getting a Vladdy Guerrero Jr. jersey.
Why?
Well, honestly, if you saw that was probably one of the best World Series that we've seen.
Absolutely.
Once the Mets were out, I didn't really care. Once the Yankees lost too, I was happy. But watching the Blue Jays, oh my God, they should have won. That's got to be sickening. If you just saw it's a game of true inches.
So we were at the movies Saturday, and I was keeping track during the movie. We saw the Springsteen movie at the AMC's, and we come out, and there's 20 guys and their wives around the giant TV because it's the ninth inning of the game, and we're all standing there. And if you watch baseball, it's the most boringest sport to watch.
Not this.
And we're sitting there. No, but between the pitching change and. All of a sudden, one of the wives goes, "Hey, hon, when you're done watching paint dry, can we go home?" And I just laughed so hard. But we ran outside, jumped in the car, and we did finish watching it at home.
Yeah, no, if you look at that Toronto team, man,
it's pretty exciting.
And I hate to say it, but the Yamamoto from
Dodgers, he's amazing.
We tried to get him on the Mets. Tried to get him.
All right, my word of the day is following my theme for the month, momentum. Everyone has their different version of what momentum is.
Yep.
I'm a sales guy. It's all about numbers. Guess what's coming up? It's the end of the year. And what comes after that? The beginning of the year.
New numbers.
So, new numbers, exactly. So that's, my bosses are in their planning stages of our goals and our comp plan. And all I've done in the past 5 weeks is plant 500 seeds. Just planting them all over the place, and some of them have already come to fruition in the past week. Like trade shows I've been to, the past 2 trade shows, phone's already ringing a little bit, and I'm going to carry that momentum through the fourth quarter into the new year.
When have you not had momentum?
But you have to plan to have momentum.
I know, it's great. I mean, honestly, this is the thing, though. Every time I hear this, and again, we were just saying I'm not truly a salesperson, but when I think about it from CFO perspective, and it's budget season.
Sure.
And what you're saying, is conversations are happening, and we're talking younger generation. Conversations are happening. Okay, here's what your number was. Here's your quota. Here's your override. Here's your incentive. And then CFO can just say, okay, here's a number. But the reality is, you have to say, how do we build it bottoms up? And rarely would I ever talk to a person that says, oh, you know what? I've just planted 500 seeds, and I'm basically working on my pipeline and going from there. I mean, if there's anything anyone could take out of this, it's that, man. That is the key.
And if you're a sales guy and you're a sports guy and you like to watch your game, pull it up in your office for 3 hours and work for 3 hours while you're watching that game. Because that's what I did yesterday.
Right.
3 hours of work, but I was watching the game the whole time. No phones ringing, but I was working.
Yep.
And it was a Sunday.
So there is no, yeah.
But it's taking advantage of time that you're going to spend just sitting in a chair, watching a game, drinking, eating, nothing more. You know, if you're going to a party, that's a different thing. But if you're just going to sit there.
Yeah, no, look, we've talked about this previously. The way the world works now, there's not really like a stop and start.
Right.
It's not like a 9 to 5, especially if you work remote or whatever the case may be. And it's not unrealistic to say, oh, you know what, I logged 3 hours on a Sunday. Same thing, it's not unrealistic that you took a 3-hour lunch on a Tuesday because you had a doctor's appointment.
There you go.
The world is different, and it's how you capitalize and use your time efficiently.
And that's how you get the momentum.
That's right. I like that word.
We're going to chapter 14, and this is practicing what I have preached on this show. It's all about going back on the road again after COVID, but I'm so far removed from COVID. When my boss opens up my expense report today, because I did it over the weekend because it took me so long, and he sees how much money I spent, he's going to know why I planted all those seeds. I was in Philly, Nashville, New York City, North Carolina, South Carolina, and I'll be in Virginia tomorrow, all within the past 30 days, on the road. Why? Because I needed to plant those 500 seeds.
That's how it goes. It's what the job calls for.
So many people are still just sitting at home. We got a new guy in Florida, totally new to the position. Boss tells him, you got to go out and start networking. I have a one-on-one with him. I give him a list of 3 organizations to go join down in Tampa that I researched for him. I follow up 2 weeks later. I said, have you been out? Have you gone to anything yet? He goes, you know, we're coming to the end of the year, and I'm just going to start fresh in the new year. And I sent him an email, and I said, I'm calling you out. That's horseshit.
Yeah.
I said, I was just away for 4 days, and the first night back, I was out at a chamber event. Get off your ass and get out there.
There's no such thing as that. That's a negative sign.
Oh yeah, that's a I'm never going out sign. But hey, listen, the more time for me, the more time I spend on the road, the more people I'm meeting.
There's a famous podcaster, much bigger than us.
Oh,
but he's
damn.
a famous podcaster. But he basically says, you know, especially for the younger generation, nothing happens from your home.
Correct.
You have to get out there. And one thing I give you a lot of credit for, and trying to we say this, but be comfortable being uncomfortable. Where we show up at networking, I mean, you can go in and control the room. I'm a little bit more
reserved.
Stiffer. Yeah, but you know, when you get to know them, people are like, oh, you know, it's like 2 personalities. But I think that's one of the biggest things is what you're doing. You can only do so much from your chair at your desk at your house. Mm-hmm. Only so much happens from your house. You have to go out there. Can't be afraid to go into uncharted territories.
So the action in the book, there are action statements in the whole book. So the action statement here is get back on the road, try a new path. Don't do what you did last time. Do something different. Try something different. Take a different approach. I was a very centralized local networker up until this year when I got challenged by my boss to see me fly to other states to do things. And when I started finding really good opportunities, it just like caught on like wildfire for me.
Makes sense. Yep, makes sense.
All right, we're ahead of time, which is good. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have Kristine Fitzpatrick in the studio. So we'll be back in 5. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 41 of How to Become a Sales Warrior. I'm your host, Eddie Potts, co-host
Mark Simpson,
and our guest, Kristine Fitzpatrick. Hello. From the League of Yes. Just sounds like a superhero group.
Yeah,
it really does. That's what when I League of Yes. So it's tequila time. You don't know what tequila time is, so we'll tell you. In my journey, I find things that we used to do that we still could do to get business, or new things that we're doing that are just as valuable, just these are the things we're doing today because times have changed so much. So first we'll toast. Cheers.
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 Thanks for being here. They didn't give us water today.
In my journey, I hated tequila then, and I hate it now.
So when I first started networking, I didn't know anything about it. And there's so many young people who don't know about networking. And they just start going to things. They go to everything. Not knowing if they're being effective, not knowing if they're doing it right. And when I'm trying to help other people in my sphere, be selective. Don't just go to everything. That philosophy, that's one you could put to rest. Be selective. When Adam sends me a text and says, hey, you want to come to a breakfast? I know there's going to be 25 people there at least. And I know at least 10 of them I could literally talk to and get some value from being there. So, you know, when I get an invite like that, I go. When I get a chamber mixer at a restaurant, it's like, you know, it's just 50 people coming for free food, and it's really not really that direct. So for me, the old is going to everything, and the new is being more selective.
Can I piggyback off?
Yeah, piggyback away.
So if you recall, you and I ran a chamber pseudo event.
Yes, we did.
Which ended
Speed networking.
Yeah, speed dating for networking, right? So it kind of worked out good. It was, we invited our folks and whatnot. Somehow I ended up on the board for Comac Chamber, and I'm actively involved. Anyway, going with what you're saying, these chamber events, sometimes what I'm going to do is a non-networking networking event.
Nice.
And, you know, if you follow me, like sometimes you show up at these things and it's uncomfortable and it's like forced.
Right.
I'm saying none of that. No business cards, nothing. Just come hang out, have a drink, socialize, get out on a Tuesday night or whatever we're going to do it, and you know you'll be helping me out.
Of course.
But that's the non-networking event. Where to your point, it's not like you're just forced into something strange.
Exactly. All right. This is when you can get involved. Networking tip of the week. Mine's an easy one, and you're doing it right now. Smile when you talk. Don't be.
I haven't been talking though. I'm just
no,
you're smiling.
Just when you're meeting new people, smile.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how far down a frown puts people?
Oh.
Or a pissed off look, or a, like you said, the person you went to meet at that event, the guy didn't want to know you, like, smile.
I just actually had that happen to me. I went to meet somebody that wanted to look at my candles and use them for corporate gifting, and I got there and she wanted nothing to do with me. Yeah.
Well, made you feel so special. Her boss told her to do it?
Well, no, she was the boss,
Oh.
and it was a kind of awkward situation, but I ended up talking with the other people within her group. But her, per se, just, wasn't interested. But that's okay, because I ended up getting a call back, so I'll get some private time with her. But whole point of networking is, you know, you can't also set yourself up of who you're going to meet, and if at first, you know, they don't take to you, it might not be that right moment, if that makes sense.
That's a great point. If they take to you, I like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Your tip?
I kind of to have that wall, and this is hard for me, but be friendly.
Yeah.
You know, don't put that wall down. You know, what I'm good at is I can almost talk to you about anything, but sometimes I got to be in the zone to be talkative. So yeah, be talkative, be prepared.
You know, I was at Home Depot yesterday and had to do a couple of returns. It's like $100 worth of stuff. And I said to the guy, I said, you know what, just give me the store gift card. I'm just going to go spend it right now. You got it, sir. Go through the process, takes my identification, hands me a receipt. I'm like, where's the card? Oh, wow. I totally screwed that up. Like his whole demeanor, like he just messed up. I'm like, dude,
No big deal.
don't worry about it. Yeah. I'll use my credit card. He goes, really? You don't mind? I'm like, relax.
It's an experienced Long Islander dealing with different types of folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Your tip?
My tip, as far as networking, is somebody like yourself that when you walk into a room, if you feel uncomfortable, just remember Vision everybody in their underwear. Just kidding. Just understand why everybody else is there, right? Because if I'm going to a networking meeting to meet people and I approach somebody, they're also there to meet people too. So if you frame it like that when you walk in, it's not as uncomfortable.
Very fair.
Yeah.
All right. You know me about the big wins, big wins, big wins. My big win was cultivating something that I didn't even know was there. So I run a report at Pods, and I have a residential report that I see, but I try to pick off construction companies, any kind of businesses that I think might have some legs. And I nailed one, and it was a move, and it was going really great until I realized this was a personal move. This wasn't for your business. It took that long to figure it out because he wasn't telling me, and I was just assuming. And I finally said, "Do you work for this basement company?" He goes, "Oh yeah, we're a national company." I'm like, "Do you guys ever use Pods?" When I go, "Oh, all the time. Wish we had a guy like you." And I'm like, I said, "Okay, you have a guy like me." I said, "Do you have a vendor enrollment team? Is there a general manager that I could speak with, that we could get on a Zoom call and talk about the values that I could bring to the whole team across the whole country? You could do that?" I'm like, "Holy shit, this is too easy." You know what I mean? Like, but I just had an epiphany, and then I capitalized on it, and I was willing to ask for that business and get it. Don't be afraid
Willing to ask, right?
Don't be afraid to ask.
Yep.
Worst thing they can say is just no.
Yep.
So that was a big win for me because I'm trying to find that kind of business, and for it to fall in my lap just by my own research, pretty cool.
No surprise on this side for that to happen to you.
Yeah.
So, all right, so I'll get in, and I apologize. I'm going to talk like CFO for a second. So SEM, we've mentioned we don't talk a lot about our companies here, but SEM, we bootstrapped it, our own money, raised it, blah, blah, blah. And then as you go through the progression of building a business, what do you always need?
More money.
Right. But the problem is when you give out equity, it's the most expensive money to get versus raising debt.
Because you don't get it back and it never ends.
Well, right, it's expensive, right? And you're giving away your piece, right? So when you're building a business, if you can get debt eligible, which is very, very hard, business has to get to a certain level, usually you have to personally guarantee. It's a whole separate show on that. Anyway, SEM just closed a line of credit last week, a real line of credit, which is a big deal for us as we move towards, we ground up, we started with zero, now, we're a real company, we got employees in 6 states, so it's very exciting. So that's
awesome.
It is a pain, but it is a very big step in the evolution of our business with no outside equity backing.
How long did it take you to close it? I know you did the leg work, the front work, the back work, and the signing work.
Yeah, so usually these things, this one took 3 to 4 months. It's not uncommon, and especially dealing with like Adam or any of our own businesses, usually when you're an entrepreneur, you're always raising money.
Right.
So there's no stop and start, right? If I think I'm hitting a
Says the woman who has raised this money for a living.
Right,
Yeah.
there is no stop and start.
Nope.
Yep.
You're always, having something in your pipeline, and you talk about coming into the fourth quarter, and we're coming towards the end of the year with the League of Yes, which I don't know if we mentioned what that was.
We should,
So
yeah.
The League of Yes is a baseball program for children, I like to say, of all abilities. And I've been doing this for 14 years, and we're a grassroots program. Even after 14 years, we're still considered grassroots. We're also a recreational nonprofit, so that's really hard to raise money. So we're always thinking what is going to be the next step. So a great win for me is twofold. So I actually had met somebody just one day in a networking group in a breakfast meeting who brought me to his group of people that give out money to nonprofits. They gave us a grant for $10,000, which allowed us to use that money to hire an organization that's going to be doing grant writing for us, as well as foundation work and finding it for us. So that is like a huge win for us, that we can become more sustainable without.
That's great.
Not that I want to help my competition in the networking world, but you want to give that group a shout out because that's amazing.
Yes, it was a BXB.
Oh, BXB. Yep.
Networking. It was one breakfast meeting that I met this gentleman. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I think you have another breakfast meeting coming up soon, too.
I hope so. I hope so. I haven't heard yet, so you tell me.
I haven't forwarded it yet.
Well, there you
It
go.
was Thursday. Thursday, right? Thursday? Yeah, it was Thursday. Busy morning. Very cool. Very cool. All right. So, best business decision of the week. So, again, trying to choose between trade shows, conferences, all the things that I've been doing. I've gotten into this organization called Jenkins Restoration. They used to be a Pods customer years ago. They fell off the face of the earth. I found them again. Turns out they're in 19 states, have 24 offices. Everything gets direct billed to the central office. This is not franchise. This is corporate decisions made in 19 offices who I've not only passed the next go-around, I go there tomorrow to be part of their vendor trade show. That's all great, but when you get a phone call a week before from someone you've never met who heard from the office that I'm supposed to order through you, that's all I was told. What do you need? You got it, let's roll. And like, as if they were a customer for 10 years, made this guy's life easy, simple. To get that reward before I even went to the event.
It's amazing.
That's ROI. You can't buy ROI like that,
Right.
even if you wanted to. So for me, going there tomorrow, and because of all this, it's a 3-hour event. I'm literally spending $5,000 to go travel for 3 hours to be with these people, and I thought that was great until someone suggested I come back to the office on Wednesday and meet everybody else, which I didn't know there was an everybody else. Nice to know and nice to get invited. So I had to change my travel plans because I got to be there. I was going to fly out first thing in the morning. Now I'm flying out that night because the idea is to go there, connect with somebody who I can take out to lunch. That's really my goal. I have to eat, and I love spending my company's money, so I might as well take someone to lunch.
Makes sense.
Best business decision.
I'm going to hit you a different way. I pretend to be a CFO today. So,
Okay.
So one of the things that occurs, and you probably feel this a lot, especially when it comes to dealing with different people and raising money, not separating the emotion. So my best business decision, and it's a learned business decision, is you can't have emotion. And a lot of times when you deal with finances and emotion kind of run hand in hand, right? So my job as CFO is to separate the emotion, because you're dealing with people's salary, you're dealing with vendor payments, you're dealing with all types of things. So I put the emotion over here and run the business. You let the people express the emotion. Part of being a CFO is it's really couch therapy. Half my job is couch therapy. So my best business decision is embracing that and being good with it and saying, hey, bring it on.
All right. And you?
So my best business decision that I made in the past week is on this product. So can I talk about
Yeah,
go
that's
right ahead.
great.
So, excuse me, Shine the Light is a candle company. So I spun this off of my nonprofit because I've been doing this for 14 years. Not all of my players, but a lot of my players that started are all aging out, and they need a place to work, and it's really hard for people with disabilities to become gainfully employed. So I started a candle company about 2 years ago called Shine the Light on Disabilities. So I have been learning a lot in the past 2 years. I've always had corporate jobs. I could sell you $1 million synthetic turf field or whatever, but I've never known anything about candles and that part of the retail. So anyway, I had this product made totally intentional for an airport, for JFK Airport. It's a souvenir packet. Each one represents a borough. No, it doesn't smell like murder or blood or pee.
Or pee.
I could say a lot of things. Don't get me started.
Right. So anyway, I spent a lot of my personal money and time. This took about 4 months to produce all together, and I love it. It's beautiful. And I recently have made the business decision of not to go forward with JFK Airport. The reason being is they want this for nothing. And I'm not going to make any money on it. I'm not profitable yet. And I need to be profitable so I can start hiring.
You know what? Good for you.
disabilities.
Sometimes the best business decisions you make are to
ones
walk
you don't
away.
do.
Yeah.
And JFK, dealing with the airport is a very
It-
challenging situation.
Very challenging.
There's a lot more hidden expenses that people
There are.
realize. Yeah.
So in my back businesses, I've worked, one of my first jobs was I worked with Kimberly-Clark Corporation. So I used to sell into all of the supermarkets. So I understand the slotting fees and I understand the facing fees and all of these other things on top of it. It would bring this product down to nothing. And it could eventually bankrupt me. So I'm like, what am I doing? We live in the world of social media. So I'm going to pass with them. I love my product and I'm super excited to start selling it.
That is you're talking.
Good decision.
I mean, that's a great, and true respect for that, because a lot of times people jump at things because you think, oh, JFK Airport.
JFK,
But
but I
that's-
did in the beginning.
Right, I
did.
totally get it.
But now that
Because
I'm
you're
here,
excited.
Yeah.
I'm here and I'm like, I can't do it. It's not, at the end of the day, I'm not looking to make the $1 million. My true venture for Shine the Light is to have consistent work so I can hire my people with disabilities is really what I'm setting. And it's a for-profit company, just so you know.
Yeah,
It's
I understand.
not a nonprofit.
Yeah, I understand.
And it's phenomenal product, so
Yeah,
You
but
mean the
you're,
90-hour candle?
it's 70 hours. Yeah, it's a very soft,
70
beautiful
hour
wax.
candle.
It's no joke.
but
yeah,
you're,
it
the
took me
Shine
2
the Light
years.
business, though, that's kind of interesting because it's the goal or the mission statement is to grow through profit to be able to hire people with disabilities.
Yeah.
I don't think that's probably got a lot of legs, to be honest with you, because I don't think I've heard a lot of companies like that.
No, I mean, there. Hopefully, there's going to be more. What you do hear a lot is more of a vocational.
Yeah,
Because I
right.
do teach this as a program at the Nicholas Center, and I am helping them start their own social enterprise. But I want my candles to be known as a brand, and then love the product, but be loyal to it because of the people that it serves.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
She's a Johnny's fan. Woo! Go
Yeah, so
Johnnies!
it's too bad we weren't filming before, but I could probably go a long time here. So you were Johnny's alum,
I am.
right?
Proudly.
And I don't want to give away our ages, but considering we graduated in 2015 from high school,
I did not graduate in
I'm joking.
2015.
Felipe
Felipe
Lopez. Anybody who's watching can figure
Right.
out when the time frame for Felipe Lopez, Sports Illustrated, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So you were at St. John's. Talk me through the journey, how from St. John's and now you're a Patino fan and all that other stuff as well. But where'd you go after St. John's?
So, well, before St. John's, I went to SUNY Delhi. So I was given a little backstory of my athletic journey. And I was supposed to be I was a catcher for years. And it's a story for another podcast of how I ended up being at SUNY Delhi. But the track coach saw me having a catch.
Right.
And he asked me to come up to the track team, and I was like, oh, I don't want to. He's like, just trust me. And he put a javelin in my hand. And I started breaking crazy records. St. John's University picked me up. And I was so dedicated and so appreciative of, being, first of all, competing at a D1 level is amazing. But there's so much more to that journey, right? And I explain this that even when I see my coaches now or students, that I'm like, do you realize, I got to compete in so many different universities in the United States. I always joke with my kids, I want to get a little
Pushpin, all the cities you've been to.
Yeah, all the universities that I've competed.
And NCAA is a lot different today than it was when you were involved.
So where did you go after college?
So after college, I actually went to work at Kimberly-Clark Corporation. So I coached for a while.
I don't know what Kimberly-Clark is, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Kimberly-Clark is a Fortune 100 company. So you talk about your sales book, right? You could not pay for that education that I got at Kimberly-Clark. When I was hired, I think I was maybe 24 years old, and we went out to Neenah, Wisconsin, and we were there for 2 weeks. And you lived in your hotel, but you went to school all day long. You were on video camera, and yes, I'm going to reveal, we're talking like 1992. And for them to have you on camera, speaking to a camera, going back and going over it, learning how to probe the proper questions, how to lead people, how to close a deal without ever asking for it. I don't think I've ever asked for an order my whole entire life. And I'm sure you can understand that, being a salesperson.
Me, I got to ask for the business, otherwise I ain't getting it.
Yeah.
I got to ask.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm selling something different.
Yeah.
Then you're selling an actual
An item.
Yeah.
an item and a service.
People
I'm
need.
selling a commodity. So Kleenex, Kotex, Huggy diapers, and stuff.
Oh, my favorites.
So, yep, yep.
So where'd you go after that?
So after Kimberly-Clark, I worked for Rubbermaid Commercial Products, and then I was a national sales manager for Diversey Chemicals.
And
Diversey?
Diversey, the
Part of DuPont?
old S.C. Johnson wax. Yeah.
how did all the passion start to occur for the nonprofit?
Oh gosh, so that has nothing to do with anything except that I volunteered. And I volunteered because I was working for a turf company, and I wanted to get to know the parks commissioner. So I volunteered for the Miracle League of Westchester, and it was this boy Julian who changed my whole career path of life. This beautiful African-American boy with cerebral palsy, and he had a yes and a no index card on his wheelchair, and his aide said to me, you know, he doesn't have facial expressions, don't expect too much out of him. And I'm like, all right, I'm just really here to network. So being honest.
What's my tip?
And so this little boy got up and hit the ball off the tee and got behind Julian's wheelchair and ran him around first, second, third. From third base to home base is when my life changed. And I witnessed the most amazing smile I've ever seen in my whole entire life. I mean, like, it lit the whole entire place up. His smile was from ear to ear. And I took a deep breath and I looked over at his aide and I said, do not tell me this child does not have facial expressions. He just hasn't been happy. And that seriously, I mean, it hit me right in the heart. And that was the moment. That was the moment that I didn't realize the plan that God had for me then, that everything was just about to start to take a turn. And I drove home looking in the rearview mirror at my two children, who were both miracles. I had ovarian cancer at 22, never should have had my oldest son. And my youngest son, by the grace of God, I was able to adopt. So, you know, it just really struck me of, could you imagine going through life just being a shell? You understand everything that's going on around you, but you can't do anything.
It's very unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that basically started my journey. I knew nothing about the special needs world. I knew nothing about running a nonprofit. I pitched the story to one person, Eddie Morris, over in town of Brookhaven. I asked him to earmark me $250,000 so I can build a synthetic turf field. And after I picked him up off the floor from laughing, he drove me to an asphalt field in the town of Brookhaven, and he said, this is yours, and I'm going to give you a grant for $10,000. Don't let me down, kid, and walked away. It's like, oh, no idea what I'm doing.
Synthetic asphalt. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It was just all about the program, and now I had a already made field that was handicap accessible. The dugouts they were bathrooms right there. I had my own little.
How long ago was this now?
15 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
15 years.
So
This
He
was in
took a
Brookhaven?
chance on me. Yeah, he took a chance on me.
so what do you? So okay. So what happens next then?
Next
so-
in the story, or
Yeah.
where
The
I'm
story.
at now?
No. In the story.
So in the story, it's kind of cool because we barely had 20 kids. I grabbed a couple.
So
friends.
you come, well, you drive home, right? And everything
Yeah.
changes.
Oh yeah,
And then you have the meeting in town of Brookhaven. You get the field.
yeah. Everything's starting to fall.
So what do you? Yeah. Like what do you? Okay. I got to. What do you do now?
I go with that. So you talk about momentum, right? I'm like, and I'm an athlete, so I'm up for the challenge, and I'm a salesperson, I'm gonna figure it out. So like MacGyver. So I grabbed a couple of my girlfriends and I'm like, you know what? We're gonna try this out, we're gonna do a test pilot, we're gonna see how it works, we'll come back, we'll fix it, we'll tweak it, and then we'll come back the following year. And we did that. And we had 6 weeks, and literally a girlfriend of mine, she worked for 3M at the time, and her and I went and we knocked on doors.
Door knocking.
We did,
Yeah.
to daycare programs that we had no idea. They don't want us on their property. Again, we knew nothing about,
Sales.
the disability world, let alone HIPAA and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Oh, yeah, that little thing called HIPAA.
little
Whoopsies.
things. But anyway, so we barely had, like I said, 20 kids, maybe 30 volunteers, and you fast forward, I have 3 fields now. 2 of them are synthetic. We've had over 10,000 volunteers
Wow.
come through our program. We've had over 1,000 actual players. We were inducted into the Suffolk Sports Hall of Fame.
Really?
This year.
At the JCC.
Are you at
Yeah.
the, did they
is
put your
huge.
plaque up at MacArthur?
Maybe, not yet, but maybe someday.
We gotta get that.
Maybe. But as a nonprofit too, now we are in the fabric of history for Suffolk County as this nonprofit that really serves a perfect purpose to the community.
So who's the typical player that you have on the fields for you, or how do you go about finding people now?
So we have, it really has been word of mouth. We're trying to do more to get more players, because I'm always shocked when I hear, we haven't heard of you. I'm like, we've been doing this for 14 years. What do you mean?
Come on, wake up!
Come on now, jump in here. So we accept all players, right? We're the League of Yes, because we don't say no. So that's why we became the League of Yes. And because we always say to the families, this is your league, it's not mine. I'm not going to give you your rules. We want it to be what you guys want. And in the beginning, I've always asked them the questions, what more can I do for you? This isn't about me. It's not the League of Kristine. She doesn't even know what she's doing here. So, but what the parents loved about us is we weren't from the background of special needs. So we treated all the kids
The same.
the same.
Right.
Yeah, which
Makes sense.
it does, but it's kind of funny. We were honoring this guy James one day, and he got up and he told the story as I'm standing behind him, giving him his award, and he starts telling the story about his son, who is nonverbal, he is blind, and he can barely walk, and his wife is like, we're going to baseball. It's like, my son can't play baseball, blah, blah, blah. He goes, I pull up to this field, and this crazy lady comes running over to my car and literally pulls my kid out of the car and walks away, and I'm sitting behind him like, oh, was that me? He's like, yeah.
So how many players do you have right now?
Over 200.
Wow, and it could be regular, like is there an age limit? How does it work?
No age limit. So this is where, I'd like to say we're like a hybrid baseball. So it's baseball, but is it? So, it really is for the kids to come down, get some exercise. Most important thing is friendships.
Mm-hmm.
So children with disabilities have a very hard time making friendships. Put down the iPad, come outside, come get some fresh air. We bring in the volunteers. I'm jamming music. We're having dance parties. It is a blast. And the kids really look forward to it because we don't have rules either, right? Because we're the League of Yes. You hit the ball and you want to run to third base, have a great time. But we do have a skills program.
Okay.
So over the years, we have cherry-picked out kids that are really good players. So they're great players and they can play on their own. Some of the kids hit the ball over the fence, but they just can't play in a typical program.
So now we're going into winter. So what happened? Like, is it just for seasonal, or how does?
It is, but now we have transitioned into basketball, and we're looking to start a golf program as well.
I got a question. So you play spring ball, summer ball?
We haven't done summer because we had a bunch of our kids that could have seizures, and a lot of our kids that are more medically frail tend to go away to camps for the summertime.
Makes
so there
sense.
hasn't been a big ask, but we're thinking actually about doing a kickball program this summer.
And what about fall ball?
We do fall. Yep.
Okay.
So we do spring and we do fall.
And basketball.
And
now.
basketball.
So if I'm a parent with special needs, how does just theoretically, if I had a child that had special needs, how do they get involved?
You just honestly go onto our website. Go onto our website and you can register to play. You can register to be a buddy. My phone number is on there.
What's the website?
Email is www.leagueofyes.org.
Look over there.
And
Is there an Instagram and a Facebook and all that to follow?
we do. I'm just really not as good, but definitely Facebook, because I'm an older lady, right? And older people like
Oh,
Facebook
please.
better than Instagram.
We're not
and all that.
acknowledging any of that nonsense, yeah.
But we do a great following on Facebook, and we do on Instagram and stuff. But again, my phone number and my email is on the website.
And so how does it work if, like, you're a baseball fan, you play baseball, and how do you get volunteers?
Same. So with volunteers, what I typically do is every week I like to have some group that's going to be coming down. So like Port Jeff, they come every year. St. John's, woo! University
Johnny's.
baseball
So, like,
every year.
Do you invite like a high school team?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what high schools have participated so
Oh
far?
gosh, where should we start? Dix Hills, or Half Hollow Hills, Port Jeff, Pat Med, Mount Sinai, Riverhead.
What do you do?
out
Just
in-
call the athletic director or
Well, I
coach?
used to be involved with the athletic director, so going to a Section 11, meeting that they have and getting up and speaking to them. So that's a great thing about doing networking and being in sales. For me to start this program is I'm a networker to begin with, and I can find the people that I'm looking for.
And what time is it? Like again, from a parent perspective, what time is the
So we
program?
only play on Saturdays.
Okay.
And I have 2 time schedules. So in Suffolk County, we play at Bolt Hill, and that starts at 9 o'clock. And then selfishly, we then play at 10 o'clock at Eisenhower Park. So that gives me an hour
Gotcha.
to go to one field, get everybody set up, riled up, and then I jump in my car and then I drive out to Nassau because I want to be at both fields. I want to meet both kids.
Did Eisenhower donate fields to you?
They didn't donate, but what happened was I actually created, talk about a vision board, I created a field in 2006 when I was working for a turf company, and I presented it to Commissioner Lopez. 10 years later, they got grant money from the state that had to be an ADA compliant program. And they called me and they said, "Are you still doing this?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, of course I am." Literally had everything for them. So I shot them over an email. I had runoff calculations, drainage. I had everything done with the architect. They broke ground in 10 days. Yeah.
So
It's crazy.
Just because in my finance mind for a second, I just want to understand. So we have this the League of Yes. How does that tie into the candles? Is that totally separate?
It's totally separate in the respect that this is a for-profit company.
Right.
But once I'm making money, part of those proceeds will go back to the League of Yes. That's the intent. And the intent is to be able to take my baseball players once they've aged
Right. So
out
it's
to
the whole
be-
model. It's really
Yeah.
so they come in, they play baseball. They're mostly special needs kids, and then they run up through the program. And then theoretically, on the other side of the house, because people got to survive,
Yeah.
you're building another company
Yeah.
that hopefully would employ people with
Correct.
special needs.
And that's why I wanted to be a for-profit, and especially when you're working with candles. So the first time that I interviewed at JFK Airport, the woman literally threw my paperwork back at me, and she said, "I don't care about your purpose. I just want to know about your product." And I went,
Wow.
"Oh." I said, "Thank you."
Sounds very inviting.
And no, it was not nice at all. But
That was sarcasm.
Yeah.
it was, but it was and aggressive because she literally threw the paper back at me. However, right, we need to remove the emotions when we're dealing with business. She was right, because first of all, as candles, everybody thinks it's a fundraiser, and as a candle company, right, which we do fundraisers, by the way. But more importantly, my community of people that I want to work with, they don't want labels either. They want a job. They want to show what they can do, which, by the way, they're phenomenal workers. Phenomenal workers. I have to get them to stop because they come to my office and they do volunteer work. So they'll clean the candles, they'll wick the candles, they'll label the candles. I get a bunch
So the
of
candles are the
pouring.
candles all made here in Long Island?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. So how big is so this company now? This is up and running as well.
Yes.
Okay, and yeah, these look like cool candles.
They are, and then this is our main product, though, is the one that I have sitting in front of you. So, and it's a soy blend candle, and to be really honest, I over-engineered the wax.
Must sharp dressed man.
Oh gosh, smell it though. That's my best
Oh,
seller.
look at this.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
more
Well,
like a cologne.
Looks like I'm gonna get candles.
But those candles will last about 70 hours, and when they burn completely clean. The fragrance oil that we use is a clean product. I've had people tell me that they don't get as, like some people can have asthma and they don't.
Asthmatic.
Or they get a headache and they're like, "How come we don't get that with your candles?" I'm like, "It's the fragrance oil that I use."
Where can you buy them?
You can buy them online at shinethelightcandles.com, which is awesome. And I have Facebook with Shine the Light Candles too. Working on that
So
Instagram.
I have to tell I could probably go for another several hours, but this is very, very fascinating and interesting. I know we didn't cover a ton, but we got some of the key messaging out there.
Yeah,
But it's
I
very important.
appreciate
This is really, yeah, I mean, very
Now
interesting.
you know why I brought her in.
Yeah, no, I mean,
It's just- you bump into people
humbling,
for
yeah.
all the reasons that we are out there trying to help, and then she
It's-
outdoes us by a mile.
Right,
You
and
know
so,
what I'm saying?
just one last question then. So you have the League of Yes, Shine the Light. Is there anything else?
Yes, but we don't need to talk
Okay,
about that.
got it.
I got to make money somewhere.
Well, I was just going to
So
say,
I
like, it's,
also have a company that I'm a WBE in New York City. So I do custom fabrications, pavilions, but that's a whole nother story.
yeah, we could go on and on. Got it. Fair
Well,
enough.
we have 2 questions left.
Oh,
Yours is-
yes. Well, this is going to be interesting. So you got all this stuff going on now, all right? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh gosh, where do I see myself in 5 years? Truthfully, the way the momentum, love that word for today, is going with the baseball program League of Yes, not just baseball anymore. I really do see more people getting involved and us finally being able to employ other people so everything doesn't fall on me. I literally have been a one-woman show with this whole entire program. With the candles, I see having a full facility that I have my people working and that we become an actual brand, a national brand that people know of, and that, again, that they love our candles because not just the mission in themselves, but seriously, what a phenomenal product
Have
and
you
their
s-
performance.
Have you thought about doing whole different sets, collective sets,
Yes.
different cities,
Yeah.
different?
Long Island
Yeah, I think
alone is going
Long Island
to
alone would
have,
have, yeah, would
Long
have.
Island,
yeah.
what I originally wanted to do with the packaging is I wanted to have something more neutral because I already spoke with Islip Airport, and that would be a great, like, you know, have something with Montauk, Fire Island. You can do all the lighthouses. You know, it can go on and
Lighthouses
on and
alone,
on.
you can.
Yeah.
I love the checkerboard. It stands out. It does. I like
Is
the
it, is it
packaging.
representative of a taxi?
Taxi.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, originally it was going to be Scent in the City, kind
Oh,
of
got it,
playing
yep.
on, and then I went to get it trademarked and realized that somebody had something close to it, so decided not to use that. Also because I don't want to play around with somebody else's trademark.
No,
And,
Yeah.
you
you
come
know,
up with something on your own.
and then Shine a Light, you know, when somebody buys that box, say they're buying it out of town and they were in JFK, like, what was that candle? Oh, Scent in the City? They would go to their website. So then they would go, oh, Shine the Light. And then they could Google and find us that way. So it made more sense not to trademark.
Last question.
Yeah?
If you can sit down and have dinner with anyone,
Mm.
living or dead, 100 years ago to 1,000 years ago, who would you like to sit down and have a nice lobster dinner with?
Oh my gosh, you should have prepped me for this one. So
No, that's the,
off the top of my head,
That's what I
you
want.
may laugh. It would be between Pink
Okay.
okay.
or Sandra Bullock.
And very interesting. That we've never had those answers before.
And I love Pink because of the woman that she is, besides being like completely feisty, that I love. She was a gymnast, I was a gymnast, and I just love how her career, she's made it her own in her own path. And Sandra Bullock, I just think is awesome.
Well, there you go.
She's still married to Corey Hart, right? With the
I'm not that
motocross?
much of a
Yeah.
stalker.
Okay.
All right, well,
Yeah.
look
I like
into,
her, not in love with her.
one more time, look into the camera, your name, your company, and how they can reach you.
Kristine Fitzpatrick, and you can reach me at leagueofyes.org or shinethelightcandles.com.
Mark?
Mark Simpson from SEM Holdings. We handle all your outsourced loss prevention needs. I'm at 917-414-4027, and our website is www.semholdings.com.
So if you're watching this podcast, you're either on Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, or iCast. Is that what they call the other
I
one?
believe so.
iCast. So you already know how to do that. But if you need me, eddiepods@gmail.com or 631-334-8587. All your pods needs. Moving from here to there, I will take care of them for you. Thank you so much for being a guest. And that is
Thank you.
episode 42.